My responsibility is to convince you to stay at home. But why we cannot play soccer? Why we cannot train together? Why we cannot have games? The problem is that Covid-19. Yes, this is due to SARS-CoV-2. Yes, the problem is due to a virus called SARS-CoV-2. But what does it stands for? SARS means severe acute respiratory syndrome. CoV means coronavirus, and I will explain what 2 means. But first, I need to explain a little bit about taxonomy. In biology, taxonomy is the science of naming, defining, and classifying group of biological organisms that, on basis of their shared characteristics, they will belong, like in this case, into life, domain, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. The coronavirus comes from the Coronaviridae family. The Coronaviridae family is composed of alpha coronavirus, beta coronavirus, gamma coronavirus, and delta coronavirus. So now the beta coronavirus has the virus SARS-CoV-1 that was first found in 2003, also in China. And last year, it was first found the virus of SARS-CoV-2. The SARS-CoV-1 provokes SARS, which is the severe acute respiratory syndrome, and the SARS-CoV-2 provokes the COVID-19. Yes, it's like a pneumonia, but it's not the same as a pneumonia, as pneumonia is provoked by a streptococcus, which is a pneumococcus, which is a bacteria, and SARS is provoked by a virus. So it's basically a typical pneumonia, that in some cases this can be mortal. So there are some videos out there that this was a virus produced by a lab to become a biological weapon, or to provoke an instability in the financial marketing and all these type of things. But don't believe on them. I want to convince you to follow the recommendations, because we can prevent more severe cases. A SARS-CoV-2 has a strain. This is a genetic variant, a subtype, or a culture within a biological species, meaning that at this moment we don't have a vaccine, and the only way to control it is to stay at home. Yes, we know some symptoms, we know that cough, fever, but the most dangerous part is that this provokes dyspnea. Dyspnea is a shortness of breath, and you can get the virus and you will see effects of the virus after 4 to 7 days. So the problem is that this is multiplying very fast. And like my kids, they like chess, I will explain with the wheat and chessboard problem. So if in every square of the chessboard you place and add the double of the previous square, you will start adding 2, 4, 8, and so on. So by the time you finish the 64 square on the chessboard, you will have a number and the amount of rice or grains that you won't be able even to count. It's a huge amount. It's a much higher than most expect. So this is with grain. It will be okay if it is with money, but this is a virus. This is a virus that it is uncontrolled. That's why now it is uncontrolled, and it is globally. That's why it became a pandemic. So this is why we need to listen and follow instruction for that recommendation of the experts. So Washington Post presented this animation where they try to represent 4 different type of case scenarios. In here, he represented the blue ones in healthy people, the brown people already with a COVID-19, and people in pink recovering. The problem with these images is that they didn't represent the people who were dying, and also they only count like 200. So this will help everyone to understand and to simplify the way to explain it to our kids and to our family, to make them understand why we need to take care and why we need to be responsible, and that why some individuals are more vulnerable than other ones. So let's see what these cases needs to show or will show us. So we have case 1 where everyone is free of mobility. Everyone is walking, everyone is doing whatever they want, playing games, and I stop in here because it reaches a very high level in just a few days. There's no health system that can take care of this amount of patients that will be sick. So that's why we need to separate them. We need to stop that peak. We need to have enough doctors, enough hospital, enough equipment for the amount of people that will need the special care, so we can prevent death. The second case is what it happened in Wuhan. In Wuhan, what they tried to do is they placed a barrier to keep those infected isolated. They knew, and the experts knew, that that barrier with time was going to be broken, and that will come out, and that will start spreading all the people again. But they were able to control a little bit the high peak, so they were able to maintain to have those that once were already sick to be recovered, to be healthy again. So they knew what was going to happen, and they were able to control it in just some cases. Now, the idea and something that we're trying to do is to reduce the mobility of the people. Yes, the system knows that many people will not listen, that people will still try to do their normal activity, that people will think this is an adverse effect from the government, and of course they are trying to keep as much as possible the people inside their places, so that the infected people they're slow and not in a high peak. That way we will have a good and safe environment. And we have the idea, and the one that we are trying to push is to have control, that we will have extremely controlled and reduced mobility, so only 1 out of 8 people get infected. Why? Because they are going to buy grocery, and those can be controlled, and the health system will be enough for our population. So if we really compare all these 4 case scenarios, we have a problem in the case scenario 1, in the case scenario 2 as well, and we wish to have the case 3. But ideally is to have the 4. Why? We want to take care of the more vulnerable people. There's no only like the adults. There's only some people that are affected. So that's why I'm pushing you to stay at home and keep others safe. Maybe you are not in high risk, but there are some people that they are in very high risk, like our grandparents and also our parents. So we need to take care of them. But also we have some family members that they are very vulnerable. Like for example, people that have heart disease, that have diabetes, and also lung disease. I have a daughter that is in high risk just because of the reason that she's asthmatic. But we have also parents member on our team that they are very high risk. So let's not do it for us. Let's do them for them. We deserve to help them. They deserve for our help. And yes, we should not do panic. We should not have panic attack where we will go and buy very fast masks. No, these masks, let's save them for the people who are sick and for the health system. We have dentists like me, or we have physicians that they need the mask to treat pain, to treat patients that are already with a Covid19. So they are the ones who need it. Now, they are different type of masks, but let me explain why a mask won't be that efficient. Now, the regular mask, like the one in this image below, yes, they will be able to cover, but they have a porosity of 1 micrometer. And the coronavirus is 0.2 micrometer, so the coronavirus still can go inside the mask. The mask, what it will prevent are those droplets, those saliva droplets. When people sneeze, then that will stop, of course, the coronavirus to spread. So if you're already sick, you need to wear a mask. But if you're not sick, there's no reason to use it. Why? Because if people already in risk or already with coronavirus, and while he's talking, he spits a little bit of saliva while talking or laughing or something, and then you touch that surface with your hands, and then you touch your hand, that will be the problem. So that's why the people that has been surrounded with other people with coronavirus, they have to stay in quarantine. They have to stay at home to keep it safe for everyone. But we have some recommendations. What are the main recommendations that we need to do? First, as an individual, is wash your hands for at least 20 seconds. But the way to wash your hands is using water and soap. Yes, there are some antibacterial gels and everything, but as the word said, these antibacterial are for bacteria, and the coronavirus is a virus, so the antibacterial won't be able to eliminate the coronavirus. So the best thing to do is to wash your hands, yes, before you go to the restroom, yes, after you go to the restroom, and before, because you don't want to touch your body with the coronavirus. Yes, after you wash your hands, when you get out of the restroom, grab the knob with a towel or toilet paper or something that will keep your hand clean. Also, wash your hands before eating. Wash your hands before touching your face. So, and if you are already infected or if you sneeze or cough, cover your mouth with your arm. Don't use your hand because that can also spread the germs because later on you can be touching any surface. Now, as a group, try to have social distance. The recommendation is at least 6 feet in between each person. So even if you're at home, try to stay away from each other. Yes, one person in one chair that's 6 feet apart, the other person in another chair or in different couches. Let's try to keep social distance. And of course, try to avoid touching your face, including your eyes, nose, and mouth. The CDC was recommending 2 weeks ago people gathering of less people of 50 persons or less. Now they're recommending 10 persons or less. So these are the recommendations that we need to follow. So for soccer, I know you want to get better. I know you want to keep on training. I know you want to have fun with your friends. But what we need to do? So it's very important to understand, if I cannot stop you to get together with friends to train, well, here are at least some recommendations. Especially work in small groups. No scrimmages, because your sweat a drop of sweat can jump into another person. By just touching or pushing, you can get contaminated one to each other. Training should be less than 10 players. Just an individual training, a personal trainer, maybe a group of 3 or 4 is still okay. But still try to stay 6 feet apart. So long passes will be good, passes will be good, shooting from far will be okay, crossbar challenge will be okay, nets game will be okay, but no games, no scrimmages. And of course, still the ideal is to stay at home. Yes, also you can do workout at home. You can get better at home. You can work in endurance, even if you don't have to go outside and running. You can jog in the same position, stationary jogging, raise up your knees and start working, move your arms and knees in a correct posture for 30 minutes. This will be like jogging 5 km. Also, you can work on strength. We can work on squats, we can do push-ups, we can do sit-ups, and that will help you to become stronger. So by the time you come back to soccer, into a game, you are still strong or even stronger, and you are still fast, and the shooting will be harder. And of course, you can work on technical work. Do use a rebounder or just grab a wall. It can be any wall at your house, or you can build your own wooden wall and just start passing the correct way, internal part, lock your ankle, keep on doing it, have coordination. This will help a lot. And of course, you can work on tactical. Tactical, you can grab a video of a game, follow the player that you wish you want to play, like the player you want to play. Like for example, you can look for Messi and look the game, look how they move all over the field, look the moves that they do, look how they receive the ball, look how they pass the ball. This is also, you can learn tactical by just watching videos. And also, I encourage you to read. Read different than soccer. Read more. The more you read, the better you will be. Listen to classical music, because this will help also that your neurons, axon and dendrites keep on working to build more myelin, to keep on work on your limbic brain, that will make you help be smarter, but also enhance creativity. This all you will need during a soccer game. Work on math. Read a lot. Don't always stay on your iPad, because that can affect your brain. Okay? But the most important thing and the main concept of this video is to convince you to stay at home and take care of your beloved ones. See you soon.